And welcome back, Fan Bros. Hope you've been enjoying this episode of Fan Bros Show, the For All Nerds podcast. I can't say that enough. It's for all nerds. Unlike the recent Emmy nominations, which, we haven't covered yet on this show because honestly, it is the same thing every year on Fan Bros Show. Certain amount of people get nominated, a certain amount of people get overlooked that we all really think should get looked at. You have women like Sandra Oh being the first Asian American woman to be nominated for lead actress in 2018.
The first Asian Asian actress. Sandra Oh, I believe it's actually from Canada.
Oh, not even American.
Mistaken.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, she's Canadian.
I mean, cool.
Either way, she's the first Asian actress to be nominated for that.
Yeah, in 2018.
Yeah.
So it's like, why, we know what's going to happen. Certain people are going to win that we love, and we're going to root for all the people of color, of course. People are going to look nice. But other than that, whatever. Shout out to everybody nominated. Blackish Atlanta, win it all, please. Take them because y'all deserve it. Especially Blackish, man. Ooh, that show turned up so much this season.
Oh, which one?
Blackish. I think Atlanta did too, but Atlanta was already on that level of, just insanely good.
Yeah.
While Blackish this year, just like, I was like, yo, what are y'all doing over there? Like, y'all put in that work.
I love Blackish, love Grownish, love, like you said, like the trajectories of all these shows are just incredible. And it's like so many things I wish was out when I was like in high school.
Mm-hmm. Out to Insecure too.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, another one. Yeah,
always.
Yeah. Always. Coming back soon. Shouts to Mouse Jones. We might have to get Insecure up under this, little umbrella, the circle of trust, so we might have to make some thoughts on that.
Oh yeah, I met him recently.
Oh, interesting.
Along with Jeff J at the Power premiere.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he was all showed out, probably had on like some type of fur coat in the middle of summer.
Oh no, his clothes was actually worth more than what I've made in 2018. So yeah, so that's a star, that's an icon, it's a don. I hope you're listening, Mouse, because you're getting all of this rich talk right now.
All of it right now.
He gave me £1 and it paid off a bill for me actually. I was like, oh shit. I was like, yo, I didn't know Adapt was quick pay. You feel me?
You don't know about the Luke Cage debt. Okay, I'm not gonna go back into that.
Yeah.
Double on.
I could be here all night. It wasn't Dabalicious.
Dabs Bunny.
Come on.
Dabamania running wild.
All the titles of the show right there.
Y'all gonna get all these titles.
But anyway, we have another segment that we got to do, Jeff. You know how we do. See how I just excluded Tatiana right there?
Wow.
On Comics Icon.
Nobody cares about
it. I mean, we care, We're just waiting for you to be like, yo, I read this banger this week. What y'all know about this?
Well, first of all, y'all gotta send me some more bangers as well. Like I haven't been. Like I said, I've been all over the place, so I haven't been to the comic book store lately. Mm-hmm. But I also write down your recommendations. Like, believe it or not,
I know you do, and you caught up.
There is such thing as Amazon, so I could order based on what you tell me to get.
There is. You still haven't caught up on Wicked and Divine yet. The latest issue dropped a couple weeks ago.
I'm 2 books behind.
Ooh, it's getting bad.
I'm 30-something books behind.
Man,
it's not that many.
That's what it is. It's like 30.
I'm talking about the trades. I'm talking about the trades. I'm not talking about the single issues.
Yeah, I'm talking about I talk about all time. Wicked and Divine is one of my favorite books of all time. I think it's going to go down in the top 3 of every comic I've ever read. Pick it up if you're not reading it. If you don't know anything about superheroes and stuff, it's one of those books for you because it has nothing to do with anything else. You can just buy this comic, and that's all you need. But in this week, this book, She Could Fly, by the writer is Christopher Cantwell, and the artist is Martin Morazzo. Colorist is Miroslav Mrva. I definitely butchered that last one. But She Could Fly is by Darkhose Comics. Wow.
She could
fly. This one it's tough to talk about. Okay, it's about a young teenage girl who she has the medical condition known as, I think it's primary obsessive OCD, where it's like an extreme version of OCD, where you have insane, well, I won't say insane, they do say that, like very psychopathic thoughts that you can't really get rid of, or you'll obsess on things that aren't there and see things that aren't there. And so this young woman has this affliction, and she's going through her high school years. She's a sophomore in high school now. And at the beginning of the book, she's living in Chicago. And in Chicago, people see this woman flying through the air.
Okay.
And I don't want to spoil more than that because certain things happen. And it seems to be that this is going to be a really ill story with a lot going on it. But I'm talking about, like, when I talk about books like Vision and, you know, books that just...
You're saying this is on the Vision level?
This is on some, like, yo, like, it messed with me because I've never been personally diagnosed with OCD or anything, but I definitely know that I have certain things where, you know, I obsess over things. And especially when I was a child, even more so, but even into my adult life. And like thoughts, you know, weird thoughts. I know that everyone has them and stuff, but it's like I would have thoughts. I'm like, oh, that's like, yo, you can't act on that, man, you know? And to see it in this book was like, whoa, you know, it's like, I mean, to see somebody way past that, you know, but
acting on impulses.
Yeah, but at least in this issue, she really avoids acting on it, even though there's some crucial. I mean, it's like it's just one of them books that really messed with me, where I was like, whoa, this is something. Like, I really would love to talk to the writer, Christopher Cantwell. He actually is one of the creators of the show Halt and Catch Fire. Stars. I think this might be his first comic book, but it is something. Like, I really want to speak about Immortal Hulk by Al Ewing and Joe Bennett and Paul Montz. That's another book that you need to catch because that's another one of those ones that is messing me up right now. But this She Could Fly joint, it's just so dope that I just want everyone to run out and pick it up or check it out, you know, because it's something. It's not for everyone, I will say that. It's very dark. There's a lot of dark imagery. It deals with, you know, mental health in a very straightforward manner. So it might need a trigger warning for people. You know, like I say, it messed with me personally, but it's something. That's my pick of the week and, you know, pick of the month right now. It's definitely going up there.
Can't wait to see what's
going. She Could Fly from Darkhose Comics. Oh, oof. Yeah, Jeff, you got anything this week?
Yeah, man. I've read Amazing Spider-Man #1, the new series with Nick Spencer and Ryan Ottley. And if this is what we're getting in the new direction, I think Spider-Man fans are going to be very pleased. He started exploring aspects of Spider-Man that I don't want to say have been glossed over, but probably have been less highlighted because they're like the core tropes of who Spider-Man / Peter Parker is. And he starts it off pretty poetic, where this Spider-Man is going to be more in his head, painting the picture for you while he's living his life. And this one has to deal with like stories and why we tell ourselves stories, and going off of that narrative of stories that he's telling himself, the why, and how that carries throughout the entire book. It's labeled as Back to Basics. That's the name of the first arc, but it's not so much it's not a retcon of anything that's happened. Everything still matters, but you'll know by the end of the book why it's called that, because he's trying to find himself in a world where Dr. Octopus, if you haven't been reading, you know, whatever you asked, you're going to get it. Post Secret Empire, post losing his body and regaining it back from Dr. Octopus, and all of the stuff that he did that in essence made his life better, but at what cost, which is ill. And he also examines the Parker luck, which is Parker luck is like Murphy's Law on HGH. And he gives a great reason why it happens, why it happens. And it's not so much due to random occurrences. So it's aspects of Spider-Man like that really haven't been explored. And I think I see where Nick is going with it. And I'm 100% on board, along with the backstory that they added, which was really integral to what they're telling. Like it's cool. I like the fact that it's modern Spider-Man. Like, if you read the new Comic Book Day Spider-Man book, you know that he's pretty much lost everything, and now he has 2 roommates in New York, which is real, which is super real for people who are living in Manhattan. And this is a dude who was living with his aunt for most of his life, had his own apartment at one point, had a shitty apartment, and then moved up to like a bigger apartment. He's lived in Avengers Tower. Now he's living in Manhattan with 2 roommates, one of whom is one of his villains.
Can I offer a slight disagreement to it?
Sure.
Ooh, spicy.
Sure.
Yeah, I will say that I want to see where it goes, but at the same time, I more enjoyed what was done with him before, where he became a different character. You know, where it's like now this feels like going back to, you know, old school Spider-Man. Like, you know, spoilers. You know, Mary Jane appears to be back in his life, and you know he's broke again, and he's living with 2 roommates, like you say, and this and that, and you know, and at the same time, I like you said, I thought it was very modern. Like the take on it was very modern, but it just felt weird for me for a character who was just a billionaire like 5 months ago to suddenly be broke and living with 2 roommates. And I do say the breakdown of how he gets to that point is plausible. It just feels like, you know, stuff that I've seen done before from Spider-Man. And that was my one thing where, you know, I wasn't really blown away. But I know that Nick Spencer isn't someone who's just writing one issue. You know, he has a huge, long plot that he's probably planned out already. So I'll wait and see how it goes. And it does have art by Ryan Otley, the former artist on Invincible. So, you know, that goes without saying. That's one of my favorites ever. And so, you know, but I do say that I do feel like Jeff said, though, that, you know, people who are fans of that old school Spider-Man are all over it.
See, I would contend that it's not old school Spider-Man. It's what has been happening. Like, it's very plausible. If you've been reading the book, like you can see how it didn't happen overnight. Like, it happened because it wasn't sustainable. And I think that's the theme of this. Why do we keep coming back to this? Why do you keep being broke? Why do people keep leaving your life? Why do people hate? Why is Spider-Man the annoying dude that when he comes around during the fight, it's like, oh, this.
Oh yeah, this. Yeah.
Like this is the franchise of Marvel, and you got the Defenders looking at him like,
I feel that.
Yo, we were good. Now Spider-Man gonna come. He gonna tell all these jokes while we trying to pay attention to stuff. Like you never really stop to think, yo, why do you keep doing this? Why does this keep happening? And I think Nick Spencer is going to offer the why and see if this time he's going to replace it. And as far as Ryan Otley, yo, he draws a clean Spider-Man. He draws a very that's like a classic clean. Like, he draws a clean Spider-Man.
I'm looking at it.
Talk about Invincible.
How
long have Ryan Otley
since the dawn of time?
Like, you ain't seen nothing to what that dude can do yet. This dude's a monster.
So I will say, I have to get used to how he draws Aunt May and Mary Jane. Like, the face is
that is
his Mary Jane is too reminiscent of his Adam Eve from Invincible to me.
Got you. Like, problem. Aunt May and Mary Jane, their faces are very like, let me create a word, polygonical. Yeah, like it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, but if that's his style, like, I can get used to it. Yeah, but I feel like everybody, because Peter's drawn that way too, but Peter's always been drawn a variation of that way. Like, other people have smoothed them out, but to see like the women
polygonal
like that, like, polygonal, right? So I was close. I got an 85.
Wait for it. I'm telling you.
But yeah, I mean, this is something
on the book, you know,
mind you, Invincible is something that I have to catch up on. So once I read that and I get acclimated to his art, it should be fine. But trust me when I say that's probably a preference thing for me. But the heroes and the villains, like that, like, you guys got to understand. When I say his Spider-Man is clean, I mean, it's just like he was chiseled out of fucking granite.
It really is. Like, I'm looking through all the art, and his
that's the only word that could come. It's like an impeccable Spider-Man. Like, I've seen Lena Yu, Sarah Pichelli draw Spider-Man. I've seen you know Humberto Ramos, like dude, shit, Todd McFarlane. Like I've seen great Spider-Men be drawn. Stuart Immonen, like I've seen great Spider-Men be drawn, and every other artist who's done. Yeah. Yes. So his is distinct, which is the best compliment I could give him. It looks like classic Spider-Man. Like if I was to get a t-shirt, that's the Spider-Man that I would want. I would want that Spider-Man on a t-shirt. Like that's how clean it looks. So all in all, man, like, you know, it's the flagship book of Spider-Man. It's one of the flagships Marvel has. I think it's in good hands, and I'm very interested. And it drops twice a week, which, you know, it'll help you get acclimated well. I do think and the thing that they're doing with the renumbering now, which is very smart, is that they renumber by volume as the major number and the total number of books under. So it's like 802 Spider-Man #1 and then under 802.
Okay.
So that way you can keep this is the 802nd book, Amazing Spider-Man book, but this is like volume probably like 9 now. Volume 9, #1. So that way now it makes it easier to track because you get both numbers on it.
And also, before we get out of here, we have to talk about this Kickstarter from. Let me get this right. We have a Kickstarter, Strange Lore, by Victor from the Megashine podcast. There we go.
Our very good friends over at Megashine podcast. Also a very good podcast led by two queer creators of color.
Some hilarious cats over there. Oh my God.
Victor created, like I said, this is his Kickstarter where it's a Strange Lore, which is a graphic novel about a young gay man falling for a supernatural being that's running from his dark and deadly past. Right now, they need $4,500 to reach their goal. They're about halfway there at $2,300, and there's as far as when we're recording this today, it's 8 days left. That means we got to really put this in overdrive. I know myself, I'm going to be contributing to the project. I'll be backing it. And if you can, you know, even if it's just $1, put in $1. If the best you can do is share this project with other people, share the project with other people, because we definitely want to make sure that Victor and Nick and everyone at Megashine really is getting that the support that they require to really put this out there. You know, lots of you guys are always talking about make new characters and make new stories and all this stuff. Well, here's your chance. Put your money up, put your money where your mouth is, and make it happen.
You know, and it's interesting. Will they support a new queer character, you know, if they're not queer themselves? That's always the question I asked around here when they talk about how don't make this character queer, because why don't you just make a new character who's queer? Then I asked, you know, how many queer characters have you supported lately? Sometimes it's easier, and it's like I always say, you know, you only get problems with these changes when it's something that you're upset about. But, you know, shout out to Strange Lore.
Yeah, so definitely support that. Again, it's on Kickstarter. Strange Lore, STRANGE, Lore, LORE.
The art looks good too. The art looks real nice. Speaking of art, like the art looks real nice. I flipped through it and it's
The art is dope, and I really love that concept. Definitely.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna disagree with you about the art. Like, I like it. Like it you know, that's the thing that trips me out. Is like we like as fan bros, we know so many amazing creatives and creators in this space. They also have a podcast, like you said. You see them, they're putting out comic books. Ben, you write, you do all this stuff, but it always comes down to people complaining about stuff that's missing, and it's just like, well, are you gonna show up for it? Are you going to support it?
Are you going to look for it? Are you going to find it?
Yeah. So this is half the reason why we're here. We want to show you about the stuff that you may be missing, and look at this project. Check it out. Again, put some money in. If you don't have the money, share it with others who may have it, and we'll go from there.
Yo, speaking of looking for it, Shuri's getting a new book.
Yes.
Shuri is getting her own solo book. She has similar style to what in Black Panther. I believe it's coming out soon, but it's been announced the cover artwork is on it already. Laura Martin's doing the color. She was doing that for the first volume of Black Panther with Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Yeah.
At least. So
The new series is going to just be called Shuri. It's going to be written by Nnedi Okorafor, who we actually mentioned earlier.
Yes.
So you know it's going to be dope. Art is going to be done. You said Leonardo Romero?
No.
Laura Martin
is the colorist.
Is the colorist, but the artist.
That sounds wild racist. She's the colorist. She's the colorist here, all right? Not me.
Oh gosh. No. Leonardo did the art for Nnedi's other book that she did, Black Panther: Long Live the King. But the point is, this thing is coming out. I'm really excited about it. This series is going to launch in October, so you got some time on it, but still, like, we got to make sure we keep this on the radar.
Leonardo Romero is the artist, and I'll go back to what I say every time this happens. Are y'all going to buy the book? Are y'all going to claim that you didn't hear about it? Are you going to claim that Marvel is trying to bury Shuri by not promoting it heavy, although we're talking about it 3 months in advance? There's been nothing but releases as of today, and you're properly informed. Do you go look for the kind of comics that you're looking for? Or are you going to sit on the sideline and bitch? They're being made. They will continue if you support them. If not, they will be canceled. This is the capitalistic world that we live in the year of our Lord 2018. So deal with it. If you like it, support it. If not, do not complain. Because you're hearing about it. What is it, July 17th?
Literally today.
At least 90 days. At least 90 days.
The press release dropped today. So, and you're hearing about it, and in your time traveling right now, because you're hearing about it tomorrow. You're hearing about what we're talking about today. So you're doing a little, we are breaking the space-time continuum literally to tell you. We're telling you from the past. This is a time capsule right now. So if you're interested, cop it. And if it's whack, you don't really have to cop it, but at least give it a chance if that's what you're into, like y'all be saying.
This show is running a little long right now, but there's just so many like levels to that argument, and we talk about it so much. You know, this whole creating new characters versus changing old characters, and it just bugs me out so much that I'm just like always like just support stuff. You know, like you just said, Jeff, like support the things that you want to see more of, and realize that if you don't buy these comics, single issues, especially when they're these struggling comics that are just, you know, or not even struggling when they're newly launched series, whatever. If you don't buy the single issues, it's never going to get to that big thing. And people, and that's how it works. It's like Invincible was a comic that almost got canceled before its even 5th issue. And then the sales kept picking up because people started talking about it. And then it ran for 150 issues. There's about to be an animated series from it. There's also a movie in the works. And this is an unknown ass character. You know, it just starts from you supporting it at the base level.
I agree, but you got to support it. The S and dial S for support, not S for say you're going to support and you don't do that shit.
And you know, as we get out of here, this weekend is San Diego Comic-Con.
We're not going to be there, guys. We're not going to be there.
But do you know
I'm going to tell you guys how they treat us. I'm going to tell you the absolute truth of how we treat us. We're not late on our submissions. We're not late on our applications. We do exactly what we're supposed to do. And I know it because I do it. And we don't get any response. This is coming from your five-time New York Comic-Con creators, creatives that are out there in the streets heavy. This is coming from your people.
Analysts.
These are coming from your peoples who write in Hollywood. This is coming from your peoples who up with the power, the people on power, Mr. You know, the guy over here who's adjusting a light right now. This is coming from somebody,
the rest of the gang.
The rest of the gang. This comes from people who, you know, work on projects on Netflix. Now, this is not saying that we all high and mighty and we absolutely need to be there.
Are we saying that?
Because but we're kind of also saying that shit. Like we put in work. So, you know,
anyone who works for San Diego Comic-Con, holler at us. You know, you obviously need us there.
All I'm saying is,
panel will host.
All I need is a no. Like, tell me no. Just don't give me nothing.
Don't ghost us.
Like we didn't get anything. We didn't get a yes from me and no. We got a nothing. So I am clearly salty about that. But I'm mad.
Well, there is a silver lining. If anybody is owed any money, you can go to San Diego Comic-Con and find that. Maybe you get, you know, 1 rack, 2 rack, 3 racks, 4 racks, maybe even 5 racks you may find at San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, God.
if you so happen to make that trip. But shout out to all of our podcast friends that are going out there. I hope you guys do exceptional work and don't rob the community, because I know you won't. But yeah.
I don't get to use the phrase unmitigated gall that much. But, this is.
However, bro, that's like me lending you $20 and I see you at the club. You like, yo, man, you want a drink? Yeah, with my money. Yeah, sure. Get me a drink and make it a double. I don't even want ice. I need the whole impact of the drink.